So by my watch, it is 10 a.m. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jonah Alfaro, and I have the honor of serving as your Master of Ceremonies for today's Joint Regional Hurricane Preparedness Press Conference. We are gathered here today with a unified purpose: to share important information, and reinforce our collective commitment to safeguarding our communities as we enter another hurricane season. On behalf of our regional partners, I want to thank all of you for being here, members of the press, community leaders, emergency responders, and of course, our residents watching online, who are the heart of our preparedness efforts. Today, we are joined by officials from Hidalgo County, the cities of Alamo, McAllen, Mission, FAR, and of course the city of Benburg, all working together to ensure that our response to any potential storm is timely, coordinated, and effective. For our official city welcome, please join me in welcoming the leader of our four-time All-America City, Mayor Ramiro Garza Jr.
Good morning, everyone. And by the way, I told Mayor Villalobos that I got dressed as if I was going to our EOC. Okay, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to that. I don't have a coat today, so my apologies. Good morning to all of you. First of all, welcome to our annual, I'm going to call it Hurricane Preparedness Press Conference. We've been doing this for a few years now, and I really look forward to this because, it's not just about Edinburgh's preparedness. It's about all our preparedness in our region. And I always say this, residents, I will admit to you, some don't know exactly where they live in the city limits. We've all grown into one another. So it's that important that we're doing this, what we're doing today. Because residents, it doesn't matter who's providing the assistance, they just need the assistance. We have a disaster. So thank you to all the cities, Alamo, Mission, FAR, and of course City of McAllen and our county for being here in this joint effort. So, I want to extend my sincere thanks, as I mentioned, to all our regional partners. You being here today, I know we can't have all the mayors and elected officials here, but you representing your entities goes a long way for all our residents. Earlier this year in March, it doesn't take a hurricane, right? We had these strong rains that came down. It was a heavy downpour in such a short period of time that not only impacted our city, but all our area. It really was a wake-up call and a powerful reminder that we can't afford to be complacent. While we've been fortunate in recent years to avoid the brunt of a major hurricane, we must remember that it only takes one to affect us in ways that we don't even want to think about. But the question is not if, but when we will face the next serious threat. That's why preparation is not optional, it's essential. To our residents, now is the time to plan ahead. Create your emergency kits, review your evacuation plans, and stay alert to official updates in all our mediums. It's no longer the radio that you connect on the wall. And I know the power may go up, but there's so many ways to keep track, and I think all our cities have done a great job to institute ways to reach out through your phones, because I know everybody has a phone. If there's a way that everybody has their phone. But your individual readiness, residents, is a critical piece of our regional strategy to protect lives and property. As city leaders, we are not standing still. We're investing in stronger infrastructure, improving our emergency response capabilities, and ensuring our communication systems are ready to serve. And we're doing this together with unity, with urgency, and with a deep sense of responsibility to the people we serve. Let us take what we've learned from recent storms, including the one just a few months ago, and turn that knowledge into action. Together, we can build a more resilient region, prepared not just for the storms we see coming, but for the ones that we don't. Thank you for being here today and for being a part of this. Together, we are safer, and together, we are stronger. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Garza. We will now hear from several of our key leaders and subject matter experts. Each will provide brief remarks, and we will open the floor to questions after all the presentations. To kick off, please help me welcome Hidalgo County Judge Rich Cortez for an overview of the 2025 hurricane season and named storms. Judge Cortez.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. You know, this event has become an annual and very important venue in which we urge our communities to really prepare for the upcoming hurricane season. Preparation will be a common theme today as early modeling by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and Colorado State Universities, both of which are really the gold standards of hurricane forecasting. They're both predicting an above normal hurricane season. The NOAA is predicting between 13 to 19 named storms, while CSU is forecasting 17 named storms. The average number of named storms over the last 3 decades has been 14, so that tells you something about this coming season. The NOAA is also predicting 6 to 10 hurricanes, while CSU is forecasting 9 hurricanes. Again, the average has been 7 in the past years. Finally, NOAA is predicting 3 to 5 major hurricanes, while CSU is forecasting 4 major hurricanes, 1 above the average. NOAA said that they are 40% confident that these forecasts, while CSU says that there will be 26% chance that a hurricane will hit the continental United States from the Atlantic coast. CSU also says that there is 1 in 3 chance that a hurricane will hit the mainland along the Gulf Coast, which extends, of course, to Brownsville. As most forecasters rightly say, any hurricane that makes landfall makes it an active hurricane season. That is why we must prepare. Why take a chance? You and your families will be rewarded by preparing early. The Hidalgo County Office of Emergency Management and our Department of Health and Human Services has been preparing reels for social media to remind our residents about hurricane season and what they need to do to prepare. So I'd like to show you one of those reels.
As we're approaching hurricane season here June 1st, we're in preparation for that event. You all need to do your part at home. Make sure you have 3 to 7 days of supplies, non-perishable foods, medication, all your proper information, health insurance, home insurance, any important information that you need to take with you, it goes with you in an enclosed dry bag. Make sure you have money on hand, your vehicle full of fuel. You have children at home, make sure you have all the needs for your children. You have your elders at home, make sure you do the same thing. Check your medication for prescriptions. If they're already going to be out, make sure you go get emergency refills. Don't forget your pets. Make sure you make arrangements for your pets. Take them with you or take them to a shelter and keep them in place while the duration of the event. Don't leave them at home or don't let them loose. Take care of your neighbor. If you have an elderly neighbor, visit with them. See if they need help. How can you help? Vice versa. Prepare your home. If you have limbs touching your roof, trim those. You have loose items at home, make sure you secure them or put them away. Protect your windows, either using plywood or shutters or some type of material to keep them from being impacted. If you know your area may flood, make sure you have proper sandbagging to protect your homes from getting the water into the home and or your garage. Preparation is year-round.
Up next on storm recovery tools from the City of Alamo, Fire Chief Roman Flores.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to talk real quick about the ISTAT and the PSTAT and what the ISTAT and the PSTAT is. So when there's a storm or disaster, really, not necessarily a storm like Mayor Garza mentioned, we did have a storm this past March. And what the ISTAT is that's a tool that the state of Texas Department of Emergency Management has created. It's the state of Texas assessment tool. And the ISTAT is an individual state of Texas assessment tool. The PSTAT is the public state of Texas assessment tool. And the reason those were created is to have validity and verification behind the damages. So before any type of funding is available, made available by the state or by the government, by FEMA, there needs to be some sort of validity behind it. So the way the ISTAT works is that's for individuals who have property damage or maybe business damage. Is when there's a storm or disaster, you have 30 days after the storm to get into the ISTAT and the PSTAT to document those damages. Once that disaster happens, there's a QR code that's created that's attached to that storm. And every individual out there has access to that QR code, and you scan it, and you're able to upload up to 10 pictures on your individual ISTAT for validity. Now, one thing that we noticed is that we encourage everybody to do the ISTAT. There's a certain threshold, like I mentioned, that needs to be met before those state and federal funds become available. Now, if you do the ISTAT or the PSTAT, and you don't have an actual representative come down and come to your property, that is actually normal. What the ISTAT and the PSTAT verification teams do when they come down is they take the heavily concentrated areas that are reported on the ISTAT and the PSTAT. So, in theory, if they see a cluster of ISTATs that are submitted in a certain area, that's a pretty good telltale sign that there's damages in that area. So, for example, in the city of Alamo, when the state and national verification team came to the city of Alamo, they already had 3 areas in mind, and what they do is they coordinate with the emergency management coordinators of their local jurisdiction, and they verify, hey, these are the 3 most concentrated areas. Can you physically take us to these areas? And what we do is the emergency management coordination team is they go out there with these verifications, and they actually look at the different properties, they look at the water line levels, they look at different type, there's different variables that factor into the verification of the damages. So, once again, the ISTAT is a state of Texas assessment tool for individuals, and the PSTAT for your local municipalities is a public state assessment tool created by Texas Department of Emergency Management.
Thank you, Chief Flores. And before we continue, I just quickly want to recognize in the audience Mayor Pro Tem Jason De Leon and Council Member Dan Diaz. Thank you for attending. Last but not least, up in the front, City Manager Ms. Myra Ayala and Assistant City Managers Nelda Ramirez and Mr. Jay Sainz. Thank you for being here. Now to cover on turnaround, don't drown, and generator safety. Please help me welcome from the City of Edinburg, Deputy Chief Anthony Riojas.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to be talking about turnaround and don't drown. Right off the get-go, we want all our citizens in our entire community, not just the citizens of Edinburg, to realize that roadways, when they're flooded, there's a lot of things in the roadway that cannot be seen and visualized. Sometimes the sewage and drainage systems get so flooded with the water coming down, and what happens is the manhole covers lift up, or trees go ahead and fall down and break, and then they end up in the roadways. And so it is common practice for people that they want to travel to where they're going, and that's the route they've gone for years. And we strongly recommend in any community, do not go through those routes. If you see the water so high, you're not sure, turn the vehicle around, go back. It's not safe. Don't put your family at risk. Don't jeopardize anything. Vehicles are not made to float. And so we would just recommend turn around and don't drown. Go back. For sure, if you know you can see it, you can easily turn around. You know where your family is. You know where your children are. Don't chance it. It's not worth it. Up next, from there, we also talk in those emergency incidents. We do have generators. So we do want our community to understand that when used properly, generators are safe and they are made for that specific use, right, in an emergency. We do recommend that you do have your generator and use it no closer than 20 feet to your home or residence in a structure. We do not recommend, under any circumstance, having it in the garage, having it in the living room. Um, People sometimes think it's okay. What happens is there is a carbon monoxide gas that is released that is an odorless, tasteless, invisible gas. It'll be running, and easily within 30 seconds you can have that gas consume that room or that area where your family could be, and we don't recommend that for anyone. We strongly recommend 20 to 30 feet with no more than 20 feet outside in an open air vented area. You do not want to have your generator covered. You don't want to have your generator enclosed in any form of a compartment. Please have it away. Also with that, there are also sometimes people get engineers and they get what are called suicide plugs. They go buy a electrical plug that has the 3 prongs. They take off the electrical outlet, and then they go and they plug it into, they rig it to backfeed into their home. Strongly not recommended at all. What is happening in your home, there is electrical systems that are designed to operate in certain ways to bring power to your home. When people plug in generators and they backfeed certain parts of their homes, that provides hazards to other equipment, that provides hazards to the family, and we don't want anything like that, right? Everybody thinks we can power a room. I'm only going to do one room with 1 quart. We do not want to do that. That is not what they're designed for. We recommend to get the proper extension cords, which is the proper thickness, right, for the material that you're using. If you are using refrigerators and things with larger loads, get a thicker extension cord. If you're using something small like a cell phone or a single light bulb, then you can use a small cord. Do remember it has to be at least 25 feet in length because we don't want our generator any closer than that. That would be the main thing. The adding with our generators. The next thing that we recommend, never ever fill up a generator after it has just been run because it ran out of fuel. That surface is hot. We do not want to have something ignite due to a fuel. Please wait. Give it 10, 15, 20 minutes to cool down. We don't want to expose any of our citizens or community to what are flash fires. So we don't ever recommend filling anything like that while they're hot, as well as we do not recommend keeping those fuels, because if it's an emergency, close to your residence. Still, take the time to separate everything, have things out in your tool sheds, the fuels that you need, right? Whether they're propanes or liquid fuels, diesels or gas. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Riojas. So now an important question for this hurricane season. How can residents prepare? To answer that question, please help me welcome City of McAllen Mayor Javier Villalobos.
And buenos dias, everybody. You know, as we approach hurricane season, it's crucial to take steps to ensure the safety of ourselves, our families, and of course, our property. And I'll guide you through some essential preparations that can help you in any hurricane or tropical storm. As hurricane season approaches, the best time to prepare is when? Now. Okay? First, assemble an emergency kit with items to sustain you and your family for at least 3 days. And necessary components include water, 1 gallon a day per individual, per member, non-perishable goods, a flashlight, batteries, a first aid kit, medications, and important documents like identification and insurance papers. And remember, these should be in waterproof bags. Second, develop a family communications plan. Share emergency contact numbers and designate someone outside your area as a primary point of contact. Ensure everyone in your household knows how to access emergency alerts and information, whether through a weather radio, app, or local news. And McAllen residents can text the word McAllen to 994-411 to sign up for local alerts. And for residents of other cities, visit your city's website or social media platforms for more information. And third, very important, review your home insurance policy. Confirm your coverage for flood damage and repairs. And if you don't already have flood insurance, consider adding it as standard policies. Do not cover flood damages. Another thing to remember, it takes 30 days for flood insurance to take effect. It's very important. And document your belongings with photos or videos for an easier claim process. And lastly, secure your home and outdoor items to minimize damage. Reinforce doors, windows, and garage doors, and trim trees and shrubs near your home. Anchor or store outdoor furniture and items that can be tossed during high winds. And these simple steps can make a huge difference when facing a hurricane. Preparing not only keeps you safe, but also gives you peace of mind. Again, for McAllen residents who need information, McAllen 311. Download the McAllen 311 app or visit McAllen.net. And for residents of other municipalities, follow your city on social media or visit their websites for more information. And together, let's be ready for whatever comes our way. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless our Rio Grande.
Thank you, Mayor Villalobos, for your attendance this morning. Our next speaker will cover law enforcement role in evacuations from the city of Mission. Please help me welcome to the podium, Police Chief Cesar Torres.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Torres with the City of Mission, and what an honor to be here today. Mayor Garza and the City of Edinburgh, thank you for allowing the City of Mission to be here today. Today's topic goes to the heart of public safety. Law enforcement's role in evacuating and search and rescue operations are crucial. In times of crisis, the community looks for us for leadership. They look for us for guidance and swift action. Before, during, and after a storm, law enforcement plays a vital role in emergency response. Our first priority is supporting evacuation efforts. Officers are deployed to ensure that evacuation orders are communicated clearly and carried out efficiently. Law enforcement goes to door when needed, conduct wellness checks to ensure that our most vulnerable residents are accounted for and safely relocated. At the same time, we handle traffic control to keep evacuation routes open and helping families move out of harm's way. But our work doesn't end when the storm arrives. During and immediately after landfall, our officers coordinate closely with everyone to search and rescue operations, whether it's navigating flooded areas, entering damaged buildings, or assisting with medical evacuations. Our officers and fire departments are right there on the front lines, working to protect and saving lives. Teamwork is what it's all about. It's not only about local, state, and federal agencies, but more importantly, it's about our citizens. Teamwork with our citizens is vital. We ask the public to help us so that we can help them. We ask them to evacuate early. Don't wait until the last minute. Early compliance saves lives. It also helps us to allocate resources more efficiently. Stay informed through official city channels. Avoid spreading unverified information. Check in on neighbors, especially those that may need assistance. Let us know if someone needs help in evacuating. Keep roads clear for emergency vehicles and avoid unnecessary travels during a crisis. Most importantly, be patient and stay calm. In an emergency, things change very rapidly. Trust that your first responders are doing everything possible to keep you safe. Together, we can make a difference on how our community responds and recovers to disasters. Look, I've in law enforcement almost 34 years. I worked in the Rio Grande Valley, I worked in Houston, and I worked in Austin for many years. There is no doubt that the Rio Grande Valley is prepared for any threat to public safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Torres, for your attendance this morning. Last but not least, please help me welcome Kenneth Ennis, who joins us from the City of FAR to discuss emergency communications during the storm. Mr. Ennis.
Morning, everyone. I think everyone ahead of me kind of helped me out a little bit. The common theme in most of their statements was communication, right? And before the storm, during the storm, and after the storm, communication is essential. Before the storm, we learn about what's coming, what's getting ready to hit us, what we need to do to prepare. During the storm, we keep you guys safe and calm and cool and collected, right? We'll let you know that help is coming. This is when it's going to pass, etc. After the storm is when we do a lot of our efforts for recovery, and we give instructions. There's no one means of communications that we want you to pay attention to. We want you to pay attention to as many as possible. They talked about it. Contact your local city, find out what apps they're using to advise their residents. In the city of FAR, we use 311, we use Code Red. There's also Everbridge. Everbridge and Code Red are what we call reverse 911 systems. What that allows us to do is to send out mass notifications with just a push of a button to give you guys specific instructions on what to do in emergencies. Some of the other stuff that we look at as far as alerting is a system called IPALS, the Integrated Public Alerting Warning System. This is very commonly used with Amber Alerts. Everyone gets a little buzz on their phone, a little notification, usually at the worst time possible, right? And it tells you, hey, there's a child missing. We utilize the same system here in the Rio Grande Valley for emergency situations. We've used it in the past for major fires, storms, etc. We used it during COVID quite often to give health information to residents so they knew what to do. So during hurricanes, we can use that same system. So make sure your phones are charged all the time, have extra battery backups, maintain whatever radio communications you have in your home. So if you have an old school AM, FM radio, make sure that it works. Turn it on every now and then, not just when you're having a barbecue, right? Weather radios, NOAA weather radios are huge. They sell them now where they don't require batteries. You kind of just wind it, right? It creates its own power, and you have access to the National Weather Service. So you'll have that up-to-date information for storm information. Last thing is just make sure that you follow and like your city's Facebook pages, social media pages. We push out information as many directions as possible because we want to reach as many people as possible. We have those old school individuals that TV, right? They want to watch the news, they want to watch Tim Smith give a weather update, and that's fine. But at some point in time, we're going to lose certain forms of communication. So we want to make sure that you guys have every form of communication available to you guys so that you stay safe, and that's the goal. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Ennis. And thank you to all of our speakers for your ongoing dedication and guidance to your respective cities and to this region. And to the media, just the speakers will be available for one-on-one interviews following our photo op here in a second. So, but before we conclude, let me remind everyone, preparedness starts with each of us. Right? Everybody sitting down plays a crucial role in informing our community of these upcoming storms of this time. Stay informed, have a plan, and check on your neighbors. Together, we are stronger and more resilient. Thank you again for your time and attention. Stay safe and stay prepared. Have a good day.